What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be diving into services and if it really matters what service you choose to provide. So unlike a product where you buy something and then you sell it, here you're providing your skill sets or something you do very well, and you're selling that to other customers, clients, or businesses. Some examples would be like cutting hair. Cutting hair is a service. Washing windows, washing cars, car detailing, sandblasting vehicles, cutting grass is a service, or consulting, going and solving problems or offering your financial skills, as a financial advisor, etc. There's 100 different types of services you can provide. Services are more related to your skill set and things that you know how to do very well. For some people, it may be pouring concrete. For others, it may be electricity. Other services include plumbing, working with PVC pipes. Those are just some on the industrial side that you can do. You can keep going further, sandblasting, etc. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. So let's dive in deep and see what skill set you fall under or what abilities you have with your skills that you can go out and sell. Before we can do that, you have to ask yourself, what are you good at? What do you know? And if your answer is, I don't know anything, not a problem. You can learn, or you can subcontract that and hand that project off to someone else who does know, and you just charge a little bit extra for doing the connection. But we'll get into that. If you are one of the people that do know what your skills are at, then that's great. That's good. I'm gonna be using a couple set of examples here just to kind of explain to y'all what options you have when it comes to going out there and selling your services or your negotiations. For example, let's say your skill set is cutting hair. You like to cut hair. It's pretty standard. It's a pretty basic skill that quite a few people already do. Well, guess what? You can open up a barbershop at your own house, or you can go and provide a service where you go and cut people's hairs at their locations, whether it be at an office job or in their car or whatever the case may be. I don't know how you would want to work that, but just giving you some ideas. Or you can rent a space or buy a building and rent out spaces for other barbers to come in there, and then they can, start cutting their own hair, and you can be partake in there as well and have your own little chair area where you take in clients. For me personally, I don't like these type of skill sets because your money, your income is 100% dependent on how much time you put into it and how much time you work, right? But if you're in here with the mentality that you want to grow, or you want to grow your skill sets, or you want to grow your business, well, guess what? There's ways to do this too in the service area. So the first one, if you want to grow, would be obviously to get more clients, get more people to start trusting you and your services. That way you start to build that loyalty and that relationship with others, and you can constantly keep growing, and they'll recommend some of their friends or some of their businesses, and that's how your clientele grows. Either word to word, or you go out and start knocking for your opportunities. Or create marketing and start, voicing out your own voice out there and have people come to you wanting you to come and provide your services to them. Another way you can grow your servicing business is if you stop turning down opportunities. Stop turning down opportunities. If a business comes and says, hey, like if you're cutting grass, hey, do you provide tree removal? Yeah, I provide tree removal. Even if you don't, just say yes, and tomorrow you can go buy the tools to do that, but never turn down opportunities, never turn down extra money, never turn down money in general, okay? If there's a new opportunity that presents itself, say yes and then figure out how later. Never turn down an opportunity, because then you develop more skill sets through those opportunities. Or hire someone to do it for you and then ask them to teach you along the process, or be with them along the process. That way you can learn off of what they're doing and all that stuff. Don't be this guy that subcontracts and then leaves them there and ignores everything and does something else. Like, no, try to learn off of them. Stick with them. Make sure they're doing the job correctly. Make sure they're not stealing your client. And, just be focused and be on top of them. Not too much pressure, though, because then that pushes them away. But give them enough liberty to work by themselves and do what they have to, but at the same time where you're being able to watch them and learn off of them. Throwing those little add-ons are another way that you can grow your business, by giving them more choices and more variety when it comes for them hiring your services. Like, if you like, I can clean your windows here, or I can leave little designs on them. We can even paint your windows and then come back and clean them off. Or, we can clean the windows off of your cars just in case they're a bit dirty, and change their windshield wipers and all that stuff. Little things like that. Little things like that sometimes companies appreciate and like, and sometimes those end up being the selling point. Overall, it doesn't matter what services you're going to provide. What matters is that you know the service that you're providing and you're skilled in that service. And if you're not, subcontract it and be dependent on that other person in the meantime while you develop those skills to be able to identify problems and be like, okay, now I know how to fix certain things. Now I know how to do things by myself. And then you create relationships with subcontracting companies and your clients, and you start to grow that way. There's multiple ways of doing this business. You don't have to do it by yourself. Now, while the service you choose doesn't matter, what does matter is how you carry yourself. And here are some of the factors that may affect you and your business. One is going to be how you carry yourself, how you walk, how you present yourself. Are you buttoned up? Or do you dress nice with a dress shirt? Or are you all like draggy with your shirt everywhere? You know, it doesn't fit you. You're walking around all slouched and stuff like that. No, that doesn't look good. Come in presentable, walk in straight, walk in confident, present yourself properly, always do the right type of handshake, you know, talk nice to them, no cuss words, you know, try to be cool with them and try to read the person you're interacting with. Depending on how they are, you try to interact with that. You know, me, usually I'm more of the serious type. You know, I try to carry myself in a professional manner, like, hey, hello, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon. Always greeting, always a thank you, God bless you, have a good day. Always being courteous and being nice. That's how I carry myself. That's how my father carries ourselves. That's how we've always done it. And we've received some amazing feedback by doing so. You know, we don't always come up here like, oh yeah, man, mother trucker, this, that, and you know, no, we come in here, we carry ourselves professionally because what we do is professional. What we do for our business. From there, we move on to how you carry your vehicles and your tools. If your tools, you come in here with broken down tools that are all chewed up, the client isn't gonna think, oh, these are hardworking men. They're like, oh no, like these guys are kind of nasty, you know, kind of just watch, make sure like careful with their tools and all that stuff, you know, because I don't want them to blame us for the way their tools are. You know, I've seen it all. I've seen it all when it comes to tools. Another big thing is your vehicle. How you have your vehicle. Do you have your logo on there? Is it well kept? Or do you have tools sticking out the back going crazy? Wires, extension cords, hoses going all over the place? Or are you organized? Is everything organized? Does everything have its spot? You know, all these things, even though they may not seem that big or crazy, have an impact on how people see you, because their first impression when they see you sometimes isn't the way you walk up. Sometimes it's the way you drive in. Oh, look at that car. Oh God, like that's the guy that's gonna be washing my windows, you know, and you're missing a whole rear wheel or something, you know, or the back of your bed is sticking out with tools all over the place. Like, no, like try to keep it nice, tidied up and clean, because your image sells. Your team is going to be another factor you really need to consider when providing services. If you're not going to be the one doing your services, for example, like cutting hair and you're going to hand it off to someone else, or if you're not going to be the one washing the windows, you're going to hand that off to a worker or something like that, make sure the worker is always in the right mentality to do the job. Because if your worker comes here all grumpy and I don't want to do this, slouch, and picks up the gun and you know, like that, and someone comes over here trying to tell them or correct them or you know, communicate with them something they're not liking, how do you think that interaction is going to go if this guy's all grumpy and this guy's trying to correct them on something that he doesn't really quite like? You know, because at the end of the day, the customer isn't always right, but the customer dictates what he wants done in the job, right? If the customer's like, oh, don't do these windows, I just want you to do these windows, then just do those windows, you know. But the guy's like, nah, like I'm already spraying, like I already started, you know. I've seen it all. It's crazy, the attitude some people bring to work, and it really does affect your company's reputation when you have bad workers. How they come dressed to work, are they all, you know, with big old t-shirts, you know, stuff like that, you know, smoking and all that stuff, drinking and doing all kinds of weird stuff in the work area? Like, no, there has to be rules that they have to follow because it's your image, and image sells. Another thing is going to be the priorities that your company has, right? If you tell someone, hey, I'm gonna be here at certain time, you better be there at that certain time. And if you see that you're not going to make it, you have to be in communication with them. Communication is key. If you do not talk to your people, if you do not talk to your clients, they're most likely not going to hire you again, because they're, where's this guy? Where is this guy? And then you come in an hour later, you're like, hey, where you been? Oh, like, hey, where you at? I'm here now. Like, dude, you didn't tell me you were going to get here late. I already left my job site. I have other stuff to do. I can't just be here waiting for you all day. Oh, so what do you want me to do? Do you want me to start the job, or do you want me to leave? Well, I'm going to need you to come back another time, because I wanted to talk to you about some stuff, but now that you're there and I'm not, just come back another time. You know, we've had it to where some people come here and they're not ready for the job. They're not ready for the job. I've hired people to come clean my car. They come here without the water hose. Without the water hose. Like, oh, we forgot the water hose. We'll come back another day. Okay, that's fine. Then they come back another day. Oh, you know what? I thought this water hose was going to be long enough to reach. I'm not going to be able to reach. I'm going to have to come back another day. You know what? Don't come back. Don't come back. It's fine. Thank you. I'll just go find someone else who can do it. You lost a client. You lost another clientele that probably would have been loyal, that I could have probably connected them to come clean all of our other vehicles that we have and all of our other vehicles that the company has and all that stuff, you know. But there goes a lost opportunity. Why? Because he was not ready. He didn't take the job seriously. So if you're going to say you're going to do something, you do it, and you do it right. If you're going to say you're going to arrive at a certain time, you arrive there. And if not, you communicate with the other person. And yes, I know it feels like I'm attacking you and I'm telling you what not to do wrong. But sometimes you're not in control of every situation. Problems will arise. Things will go bad. But you have to communicate that with your team and tell them, hey, like when things go bad, you need to tell me. Or you need to communicate that with your clients. Like, hey, this happened, but don't worry, I'm going to fix it, or I'm going to make it up for you this way, this and that. You know, communication is key. Never try to hide anything and never try to screw someone over. Another thing is pricing, and it's a very big thing. You got to really do some research on what your skill sets are being sold out in the market for, right? Hey, how much does it cost to make cement right now? How much does it cost per square foot? Like, hey, how much does it cost to get my hair cut right now? Hey, how much does this cost to have you come clean my windows or clean my car and all this stuff? Okay, that much? Alrighty, thank you. And start calling multiple people. Start getting different numbers and start seeing where your skill set is at, your add-ons, how many add-ons you have for your company. Try to see all the benefits that you have, and based off of that, try to set a reasonable price for yourself. Don't try to be this guy over here that tries to milk every project to try to make them rich. That's not how it works. Yes, we seek profit. Yes, you should seek to make money and put money in your pockets, but doing it the right way. Never trying to screw someone over, or never trying to overprice someone and then leaving the job half butt or not even at good quality. Like, don't be that guy. We've seen that. Don't be that guy. That is a bad guy, and it's going to burn your name, and you're no longer going to be a profitable business, and you're not going to last long in this industry. A big thing when it comes to skill sets or doing a service business is your skill set. It's your knowledge of that business. So always study, always be willing to learn more, never be so closed-minded, always try to do things the right way. Sometimes you're going to screw the pooch. Sometimes not every client is going to be the ideal client. You're going to have clients here that are going to be Karens, and they're going to come and nag at you and tell you what you're doing wrong. And it's up to you and your discretion if you want to try to fix that relationship and try to please the things that they want, or depending on their attitude, you're going to cut them off and be like, you know what, I can't do this. We've had every scenario, right, where people come at us in a bad attitude and we're like, hey, like, we're trying to help you here. Like, how are we going to continue? Like, are you going to try to change your attitude with me? Or are you going to be aggressive the entire time? Are you going to be this difficult? You know, and sometimes they snap out of it. Oh, you know what? You're right. My apologies. Yes, I'm sorry. It's just been a stressful day. It's okay. Just, you know, like, talk to me. What are your issues? What can I help you solve? You know, we're problem solvers. That's what we do. We're not afraid of problems. We face problems head on. But at the same time, if they're not willing or they're not in that disposition to be nice or try to change or, you know, talk things through, all right, you know what? Here's your money back. I'm not going to continue to do this here. We're going to leave the work the way it is. Good luck trying to find someone who can work with you and your attitude. I'm not going to be dealing with this stuff. My time is more important than yours, right? Time is money, and I'm not going to be here trying to sit here and try to fix this relationship if you're not willing to do it either. And boom, you leave. Right? You're going to be faced with a lot of difficult conversations because in the service industry, you're always going to butt heads at times with your client. You're going to butt heads with workers. You're going to butt heads in general because it's a face-to-face communication type thing. This isn't like a product where you buy online and you sell and you never have to see the clients that you're buying at times, right? That are buying from you at times. You know, sometimes services, you have to be there with the person and things will go wrong at the job site and you have to be able to be there and quickly to fix it. Or you're going to get a very mean phone call from your client telling you how they messed up. And you're going to have to be understanding of that. You know what? You're right. We did mess up, but let me fix it for you. You know, there's a whole bunch of different ways to do this. If you like, I can go deeper down into a video on what characteristics you should have as a business owner, what to allow and what not to allow, where to draw the line when it comes to negotiating and communicating with others and everything like that. I can definitely do a video on if you're interested in. With that being said, guys, hopefully y'all did enjoy the video. Hopefully y'all found this somewhat interesting. Hopefully I got to teach y'all something new. If you can, leave a comment down below of something you agree with or maybe something you disagree with. Or maybe you have a question you'd like for me to answer. Make sure to leave that down in the comments. If anything, subscribe to our channel. That way y'all get notified whenever we do upload a video. We are a brand new channel, but I promise you I am busting my butt out here. That way I can provide you with the best videos and the best advice that I possibly can. With that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video and I'll see you on the next one. God bless.